In this video, we are presented with the following problem and we are required to find the solution for x. So we're given that 1 plus x squared being multiplied by 1 plus x to the fourth power is equal to 4x cubed, and we are required to solve this equation. So the first approach to doing this equation is to actually, well, let's expand these brackets. So in expanding, we would now have 1 plus x to the fourth plus x squared plus x to the sixth power is equal to 4x cubed. Now, what I'm going to do from here is to actually subtract 4x cubed from both sides, so we could get a 0 on one side of our equation. So in doing that, we would now have 1 plus x to the fourth plus x squared plus x to the sixth power minus 4x cubed is equal to 0. Now, all right, so we are at this point, we aren't sure exactly what to do. Now, what I would suggest is take a closer look at the terms given. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break apart this 4x cubed into minus 2x cubed minus 2x cubed. And the reasoning behind that is that I want to rearrange this equation in such a way that I can form perfect square trinomials. Now, perfect square trinomials are basically a binomial being squared. So, for example, 2 plus x all squared, that would form a perfect square trinomial. All right, so let me actually rearrange this equation to suit what I'm going to need. So x to the fourth power minus 2x cubed. And this takes a bit of practice to actually be able to rearrange equation and to identify that you require perfect trinomials and all of that. So plus x to the sixth power minus 2x cubed plus 1 is equal to 0. All right, great. So let me actually separate these here. And these are actually perfect square trinomials. The first one is not a perfect square trinomial as yet. What I would need to do is to actually factor out x squared. So let me factor out x squared, and I'm left with x squared plus 2x plus 1. And on this side, this actually works out to be x cubed minus 1 all squared. This is equal to 0. So if you take a closer look at this, if you expand the bracket, you would end up back with the x to the sixth power minus 2x cubed plus 1. So on the left-hand side, on the left-hand side of the left-hand side, we would now have x squared being multiplied by x minus 1 all squared. And this is a pretty popular trinomial expansion, or binomial expansion rather. So let me rewrite x cubed minus 1 all squared is equal to 0. Now, one conclusion which we could draw from this is that, seeing that on the left hand side we basically have everything being positive and we have a addition. So in the bracket it does not really matter, because after we square we would get positive and we have a addition. So what we could assume from this is that this is equal to 0 and this is also equal to 0. All right, so let's set x squared open bracket x minus 1 to be equal to 0. So in this instance, x would either be equal to 0 or x would be equal to 1. So let's keep that in mind for now. Now on this hand, we have x cubed minus 1 all squared being equal to 0. So x cubed would be equal to 1. X would be equal to 1. So in looking at this, we could see that 0 is not a possible solution. And the reason for this is that if we should use a direct substitution in our original equation with 0, we would, on the left hand side, we would have 1 being equal to 0, and 1 cannot be equal to 0. So therefore our solution is x is equal to 1 for this problem. So if you enjoy videos like these, please be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. And see you in the next video.